start streaming. Okay. All right, so go live. Here we are. Hello, hello. How you guys doing? All right, so hello. So here we are, another live streaming. I kind of set up my stuff again, and I'm ready to do this live streaming, every week, just before we go back and, on tour in April. And I will do like a proper week of discussing about, how to get, better performance on guitar in March. I'm planning to do some, some cool, live streamings about this. And let me know, just say hi to everyone here. All right, so here we are. So let me know if you guys can hear my voice, my guitar. Okay. All right, so yeah, here we are. Let's talk about some basic but fundamental things for practicing technique. And next week I will do another one more like about chords and some other kind of practices as well. So here we go. Some well-known names here and good stuff. All right, so yeah, just give him a few minutes for the guys to. So again, the first thing that I always, you guys know that I'm always about practicing only the left hand or only the right hand. So why not talking about sweep picking, to start, right? And then sweep picking is always like this interesting technique that is easier to play fast, but it's very hard to play slowly, So I think the best thing is like to practice slowly. The first exercise, let me know if you prefer with a clean tone or distortion is good. Practicing. Right, so that will be my first technique exercise, very simple, to practice to start. So alternate picking, sweep picking, down picking. All those three elements you can practice only with your right hand first as a warm-up exercise, or maybe just as a like in between improvisations, in between your practices, you can do this. So the first, like alternate picking, to mix with the sweep picking, because for me at least, because I'm left-handed, it's always hard to switch from alternate picking and sweep picking. So I like to practice also this, like, alternate picking, like it's like 1 1 1 1. And then so one exercise would be the alternate picking, right? And the other one, the second one, would be the sweep picking. So what's gonna happen is you probably will play slow the alternate picking because it's pretty hard, and you have the tendency of playing fast the sweep picking. So try to play, get a metronome and just play the same speed both, and keep swapping. So like so let me put a clean tone here. So oops, different mouse. Okay. You know, it's like, not, I don't have a good control. Just a second. Right? I know it's boring. It might be boring, but if you can do like 5 minutes, few minutes of this, you know. So let me see what's going on. All right, so I'm not sure you guys are, you know, the guitar is okay. Right? Thing is like you hear all the notes, right? All right, so yeah. So let me know. And put like a, maybe it's too loud, the guitar. Right? So, there's a lot of distortion. So that's like two basic exercises that you can try to do, you know, all the time, and you know, only the sweep picking. And you probably will find like a that's comfortable, and then slower, it's harder. So it's kind of the opposite way. That's for me at least, you know, like you find like a good speed on sweep picking, and then you try to play slower, and then it's harder to control. And of course, the alternate picking is the opposite. It's easier to control. Fast. All right, so let me check if you guys have any question about that. Good, you know, to is a good warm-up just to play the you know, because I believe if you play alternate picking, like at first you can look, right, you know, then at some point you don't look anymore. To kind of memorize the distances in between the strings, right, the distances. That's why when you change, you know, you try to play acoustic guitar, you change the guitar, it feels a bit weird because this, you know, if I try to use the guitar pick in an island strings, it feels a bit different. It needs some time to adapt because of the distance of the string. You don't look, right? You don't look. In the beginning, you have to look, maybe because you want to play super slowly. Because of course, you know, it's not so easy to play like that. Of course, you can do something a bit more musical, putting chords. You know, you can. Just keep improvising chords. You know, can improvise chords and keep doing the same technique, and then you do the same with sweep picking. You know, try to be musical and not only like, you know, only this. This is good for, you know, the first minutes, you know, the first 5-10 minutes of your practicing, you know, just to warm up and, you know, to, you know, put your hands in the right place. All right, so let me read a bit. All right, so I'll try not to talk and play at the same time. You know, let me see, the image is fine, right? Yeah, okay. All right, so all right, so yeah, we'll play the open source album at some point. You know, I'm starting to compose a new album, new songs. You know, I'm like always like trying to work on the future things. You know, and also organizing my courses, my guitar courses, and I will let you guys know in beginning of March the new approach I'm taking on this, and yeah, so be around. So another thing that is good to practice is just the down picking and the up, you know, up picking. I know it's kind of it sounds simple, but it's good. I believe it's good. You know, just this is not Tornado of Souls, but see, like only down. And in this case here, every technique has, you know, a different way you can approach. As I said, the sweep picking you can play slowly. You know, it's hard to play slow, while the alternate picking is hard to play fast. The down picking or the up picking only. So the up picking or the down picking, for me, and you can check for you if it's the same, is more about the endurance. You know, how long can you play only down without, you know, tensioning the whole arm, you know. So of course, you know, it's more about how long can you play, maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes straight, and that I believe is a good practice, you know. And 1 minute sounds like, oh, that's easy, but if you really, you know, put the metronome with a timer, you'll see it's hard, you know. Of course, depending on the speed you're playing. This, you know, this speed for a minute, it is hard. And if it's too easy for you, you can always like do like 6, 4, 2, 5. You know, change the strings without looking, of course. I know it doesn't sound like music, but you know. You know, practice like this for a while, or just up. For me, it's pretty hard to play only up. Of course, this is more like for your hand to understand, you know, like the distances of the string, you know, the movements, putting your hand in different situations, like controlling the sweep picking, the alternate picking. Of course, you can do string skipping with the alternate picking, string skipping with the alternate picking, and then only downstrokes, only upstrokes. There's a lot of stuff, you know, and if you do that, you know, every day a bit, it's going to be really helpful, and then you're ready to go, you know. Let me see here your comments. Yeah, of course, if you play like a Master of Puppets, or you know, if you play some riffs, it's very helpful. But what I'm saying is like to play all the 6 strings. You know, if you play only riffs, you might not have, you know, the other strings. You might not use like jumping from one string to another one. You know, so doing those kind of exercises or creating riffs, you know, with more. Sorry. You know, whatever. I don't know, have to only down. I normally play like alternate. I normally play with alternate picking. You can create something that you can do only alternate picking or up picking only, right? So yeah. So let me read here. Yeah, the nothing to say. Yeah, so it's a riff that there's a lot of picking. All right, that's a 95 riff. Long time ago. Yeah. All right, so the Du Monde is a good one. Yeah, Skylar, how are you, man? Yeah, so all those Van Halen kind of. And then playing for a while, yeah. Yeah, so those 3 things, you know, alternate picking, sweep picking, down picking, and up picking, right? So alternate, sweep, and only one direction. So if you can combine them, is a good thing. I play more the alternate picking than the other ones. So sometimes I have to remind myself, okay, let me practice those other styles. So, you know, those techniques are more even when I improvise. Yeah. So then the left hand, right? Left hand now. So you can practice, again, only one hand, so you can focus in one hand, you know, like only the picking, and now only the left hand. I really like to play the 1, 2, 3, 4, but doing other kinds of combinations, I think is and even for beginners, or, you know, just to check if the articulation is good. Suggest just to do like, but the difficult thing here is to be even, you know, and all the notes has to sound the same and even, and with the articulation cannot be sloppy. And again, playing slowly it might be harder than playing fast. You guys can hear. Right? try to, you know, the articulation is the most important thing here. Now you can just, you know, do a movement like this with a slide. I use this a lot. So just keep doing the 4, 3, 2, 1 slide, then 2, 3, 4, and back. To do this live streamings because, you know, in the end I practice, you know, I think that's the idea. So the same movement now back with the first finger. So the first finger, index finger, it's easier to do the slide, so I recommend to do this sliding with the first one with the index. You can even practice like only the slide if you prefer. Always when you practice, if you have a problem there, just, you know, go to the problem and fix the problem. So maybe if the slide's not really sounding great, just practice the slide. And then so they're coming back. And then you will discover that it sounds great and it's not so difficult once you get the articulation right. The sound, the effect, you know, is great. You can add this in any improvisation, and you discover that the hard thing is to change strings, right? So. Let me see if this is better for you guys. Maybe. All right, let me read here what you guys are talking. Yeah, every Satriani song has that. Yeah. Let me know if it's better now when I talk and playing and talking at the same time. So, yeah. All right, so articulation. So together, the right articulation would be more playing slowly again. But sometimes if it's too slow, then it's harder than finding that speed that you're able to play with a good articulation. Maybe faster, you lose the articulation, and slower, you lose the tempo precision, you know? So, well, that's what happens to me. So then you practice playing slowly, then this like optimized speed, I don't know how you would say that, like this comfortable speed that works for you. And then so slower than that, the tempo is hard to control, and faster than that, it gets messy or you lose the articulation, you know. So then you practice playing slowly to get the tempo, a precise tempo, and then of course you practice to play faster. So so then you have the good articulation. So let's say if you're here, so that's a good beat for me. But I try to slow down without, keeping how even all the notes are. Yeah, so now changing strings is a thing that's difficult. All right, my voice louder, yes, no problem. Let's see here. All right, let's see. Okay, strong left hand, yes. Okay, so all right, so let me see, just adjusting the volume as you guys are, let's see if it's better now. Guitar's too loud. Right? So any questions about this? So changing the strings is like the hammer is like more like about practicing hammer on. Like I remember like Greg Howe saying like out of nowhere. I think it was the first time I heard this expression. I think there's a Charlie Parker song, Out of Nowhere, or yeah. But besides the Charlie Parker song, like those hammer-ons, so you don't pick, and it's not coming from a hammer-on from another note on that strings. Just basically, you just play. You're not picking. So you have to practice this, All right, so, and the next thing that you have to, be aware is like to practice the same thing on different strings, because you discover that it might be easy to play in the first string. So I would recommend to start first on the first string, mainly because it's thinner, the string, so it's easier, it's brighter, so you get the better articulation. Also, you don't have any strings under, so you don't need to really worry about the pinky touching the other strings. And then here you have to figure out how to hold the other strings, not so you don't have the extra noise. So it's simple. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? With the slide, it makes interesting because it's like it's interesting as a phrase as well, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because if you just play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is cool too, of course. But when you play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, you're always adding a note to the phrase, so it kind of has this flowing sound or cascade or whatever, you know, just because this extra note you're adding. So the pinky here is never on the same place, you know, so. And of course, so start on the, find that articulation first, find the right speed that you are able to play even notes with a right articulation, then try to play slower to control the tempo, to control the fingers, and then you try to play faster just to play fast because it's always good, and to keeping the articulation, kind of keeping all the, you know, you can hear every note. If you're not able to hear every note, if you think it's like it doesn't sound good to you, so just, you know, wait, play more, and you don't need to play fast, you know, in few days or few weeks. You know, it's gonna come. The speed's gonna come if you just keep playing. And there's the endurance factor as well. You know, you might get tired at some point, and then you lose the articulation. So knowing that, you should stop here and there. Just do like 1, 2, 3, 4, pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, pause. Right. So, and your fingers doesn't get tired. So, yeah, better articulation probably. Then you practice the other strings, being aware of this hammer-on out of nowhere, and you know how to hold the other strings so your phrasing is clear. Then you just put a backing track and try to apply that phrasing, because a chromatic run, it fits everywhere, so it's never a problem. It's like where you end, you know, where you start, where you end. Just start on the right note and end on the right note, and all the rest is like an effect, you know. So yeah, so changing different strings, so then you can start only like. See, I lost the articulation in the end. So you have to be, there's like this self-awareness component, you know. You have to have some sort of, self-awareness, like, okay, it's not that great, so let me play slowly. And you can always help with the pick if you feel that, okay, I don't have the strength, you know, to keep going. You know. So every I can also pick every time I change the string. Then it's a safer way, you know. All right, so. Hey, Adam, how are you? So yeah, backing track, just put a backing track and just play, you know, just add those phrasing, the chromatic, right? All right, so yeah, good stuff. Let me see here. When you move the other string, should you start on a note from a chord? It's always safer to, when you go to another string, and then when you pick, it might be that note is like slightly stronger than the other ones, but what you're practicing is the articulation, so they're like even when you change the strings, all the notes are even, and so then it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's always gonna be, you know, every time you have like a stronger note, if it's inside the chord or inside the scale, it's a safer way. But if you're just doing like a chromatic run, like a, and then you're B flat and then A, and then E, and you change the E flat, but it's like from the E to E flat, the chromatic run is a continuous thing, so it doesn't matter. You know, I hope you understood. So you're here E, like let's say you're playing E minor, and then you do the run, and then this note is E, and then when you change this E flat, but you're just continuing the. It's the same as the slide. So. But it's good to know that. So how it works the chromatic here. So instead of and it's not right. So you always come back one. You know, every string you go up, you go up one fret. Right, that's the way it works, the chromatic scale. So that helps a bit, you know. So that your hand, the sound goes down lower, you know. The pitch goes lower, but your hands actually are moving to the end of the neck here. Anyways, it's an interesting effect, visual effect. I think so. Yeah, and yeah, let me see here. And good stuff. The action of the guitar is low here. Yeah, it is low here. Not super, super low, but it is. All right, Billy Sheehan and I need to have a jam session. Yeah, that would be awesome. For sure. All right, so... yeah. Any advice for the lefties? Oh yeah, it's the same thing, I guess, right? I'm a lefty too, you know. It's the same thing. It doesn't change anything, you know. Articulation, practice in one string, then go to the other strings. You can practice only the first string, then only the second, only the third, you know, and then you practice moving, you know, in all the strings. And yeah. Yeah, we could keep the live stream, yeah, up. Don't worry. All right, so the next one, let me put my voice is still not good enough. Let's see. As I don't hear my voice, I never know, you know, how much I can put here. It gets too loud. I can talk closer to the mic. Maybe bring the mic closer here. Yeah, I do. That would help. All right, so okay, single string. The first one I said, alternate picking, sweep picking, only down picking or only up picking, right? And the articulation of the legato. Another very good exercise that you should be doing constantly to educate your left hand is like keep the pinky close to the neck. This is more like aesthetics than actual, you know, there are so many great players, they move the fingers a lot. But I remember, like, I don't know, when I was playing, you know, starting, not when I was starting, but, you know, my first years, so like practicing, I was like, I want to play like, I was worried about the aesthetics of how it looks when you play, you know. And of course, you want to have this classical guitarist perfect hand position and the movements, you know. And supposedly, it's going to be good for your technique. You know, although you have great guitar players and they play super fast and they move a lot, the fingers, and then some other great musicians and they move the fingers a lot. So it doesn't really matter. It's more aesthetics, and of course, supposedly you will play fast because, you know, it's like the minimal effort concept or the minimal movement, and the more relaxed and close to the neck, probably you're gonna play, you know, at least you wanna and at least supposedly you would spend less energy, but you have to think a lot also to control your pinky. So I don't know, in the end, you might spend more energy kind of trying to control the pinky than just let the pinky go, anywhere, But anyways, so there's several exercises for that, but like one that I like, and I will put the clean tone so it's a bit better to hear the exercise, which is basically playing the scale. I can play like A major, right? A major, and then so you can play and hear the cluster. Any scales like A minor, good, simple as that. So I repeat, because basically, normally you see like, I don't know, this kind of movement, right? So if you hold, you have to control your pinky, and you still like learning scales, You do have other exercises that I recommend as well, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then you move the second one and the third one, and you just move when you need to play, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of similar to the spider exercise. Let me know if you guys know the spider. All right, Paulo Cesar. Oh, obrigado. And let me know if you guys know the spider one. Like long. Right? So those like, like those exercises have to do this kind of movement, But this is it's similar, but it's a bit different. Because in the end, you're kind of gonna play like that. And then you can do the same with scales. It's like, let's go back to the A major scale. Right? So, no root, second, third, fourth. Then we have the cluster here. But it would be the same. Cluster, and then next note, you keep. It's interesting because you have a cluster, then a third. Cool. The spider power chord, yeah, that's a... Yeah. All right. All right, thanks a lot. What is a cluster? Like when you have those close intervals played together, So you can have like E, F sharp, and G. The guitar is hard to play those. Piano, of course, would be instead of, can you guys see here? Yeah, it would be like playing like notes all together, cluster. And instead of like an open. Very open, then it's cool, huh? When you have open strings in the guitar, because the guitar sounds great, right? Those. So would be like 3 notes. The next note would be A, so then it's hard to play, you know. So it should do like so, you know, those kind of things. All right, so cool. So alternate picking, sweep picking, down picking, up picking, the articulations, and then the holding. You know, that's all the ones for holding your pinky. Like I could spend 1 hour trying here. I probably suck in some of them, but those basic ones are important too. After a while, just when you play, you try to think, you know, to keep the pinky in that position. Very close to the neck, right? All right, so let me know if you have any other, yeah, Lucas, yeah, I will talk about chords, progressions for sure, no problem. And play piano, okay. All right, yeah. Just ending my list here. So another good thing to practice technique is like playing patterns, you know, like basic patterns. You can, you know, I have a list of patterns. Actually, my course 7 Factor, I put some, I don't remember how many, but some at least 10, 20, I guess, I don't know. I was the other day like adding, you know, it's good to have like a list of patterns, I guess, you know, to practice. I remember I had like pages and pages of patterns, like melodic patterns. I think that's the better term. You know, like basically like, you know, so you know, those. Right? So important to have, you know, a list of those patterns. You know, start with 1 and then 5, 10, 20. And yeah. You know, in 6, in right? So this is another important thing. And once you learn a pattern, or like just a small sequence, let me think here, I don't know. Let's say, like a sequence like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sequence of 4 notes, only 4 notes. Then you start practicing and like playing this sequence, this small motif everywhere. You know, that's going to be very helpful for your improvisations, creating solos, creating riffs, creating even melodies for your songs, you know. That's the pattern. So you can play like this, but you can play more like, so you understand the motif and start to extrapolate, you know, putting everywhere the motif. Could be chromatic, because what matters is the motif. Like 1, 2, 4, 1, right? So this or can be. Right? Can be a riff, you know, from that motif. So it's a very good creative exercise to get a motif like that and start experimenting inside a scale, chromatic, inside an arpeggio, so you can play like E minor, and then starting from the note of the chord, right? So imagine if the harmony is changing and you're just doing this, like following the chord tones, is already, you know, a great thing for solo, you know. So it will sound like, I don't know, like Baroque music or like choro or bebop somehow. So and it's just this simple melodic idea, 4 notes melodic idea. So it's a good practice. Like it's technique, but also very mental, you know. Melodic motif, yes. Let me read of. Sounds like Iron Maiden, yeah. Yeah, the term motif, we use in music motif like it's like an idea, you know, kind of a, could be like a, could be, you know, you know, then you use the same, the motif can be a rhythm, can be a melody, can be a contour. I think we can do another live streaming and go deep into that, because this is like very important to create melodies, to create, you know, for improvisation. It's more like a improviser jazz approach of things, you know. It's not, I think the rock players, they turn to memorize like long licks, long phrases, and not like small bits, and then think fast and combine those small bits, and then your solo will be always something interesting, because you're not, you know, putting that big lick inside inside a improvisation moment, you know. So it's like small things that you combine, you know. It's like it's not like memorizing the whole paragraph. It's more like memorizing like a combination of 2 words, 3 words, or only 1 word, you know, like, and then with a meaning, and then you just improvise, you know, talk, depending on the situation, depending on the chord changes and things like this, you know. Because in jazz or fusion in general, you have a lot of different possibilities in harmony, so you have to be also kind of faster thinker, you know, to adapt those motifs, right? Let me know if that all this makes sense to you guys, or I'm just talking, you know, things that doesn't make sense. I just want to, you know, tell you guys things that make sense and you guys can use somehow. So let me know if all this makes sense so far, and let me know which of those exercises you think is gonna be good for you. So I'm wait here to see your comments here. There's always like few seconds gap, so yeah, I just want to read the total sense. Happy birthday! Somebody is like, oh yeah, I saw it. Sorry. All right, so Jam, is that Jam Sinti? All right, 40 years old. Congratulations, man! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Yeah, man, I'm turning 50 this year, huh? What about this? half a century. Here we go, you know. All right, Thomas, I learned something today. Something, let me know. You know, the best thing, tell me. I'm well, you know, this guy, I guess is a guy for us. It looks like a guy's name. It's still, I still suck at guitar. That's his, you know, name. So you shouldn't put like this, man. You should like, no, I'm awesome, you know. I'm getting there, you know. Anyway, so you said you're gonna work on that legato stuff this afternoon. Good. Too many. Oh, thanks a lot, guys, for sending all this stuff. This Marco, the spider exercise, that's the best. All the exercise will be useful. My deep guide. And Casey is part of the mentorship group. Thanks for being here, Casey. Yeah, we can talk about stretches a bit. Yeah, let me read this stuff here. I mean, stretches are stretches, but yeah, let's talk about this. Yeah. All right. So it makes sense. I wanna know which one of those exercises would be helpful for you, like the alternate picking, sweep picking ideas of playing slower. It's always about like the articulation and how even the notes are, and then you can really spot like when the guitar player like, okay, this guy spent some good time practicing. Actually, Casey, you have like a great tone. You're a great player, so I know that you spend a lot of time practicing and like fixing the mistakes and really caring about your tone and your playing. So that's great. You can see right away. It's like in 5 seconds of your playing, it's like, okay, this guy knows how to play, and that's great stuff. So, and then this all comes with with those simple, but it's not simple the right word. It's like fundamental exercises that you should be, doing all the time. That's it's like any high performance athlete will start jogging or running or doing like basic stretches because that's a fundamental thing. So the sweep picking, the alternate picking, downstrokes, upstrokes, articulation for the legatos, and then the motif, like getting a pattern, like a melodic pattern, like a short one, and then you can add and put inside a scale. And it looks like a big thing, but actually it's only this. And then learn how to play that small thing all over the place. There's another one. And then the 7-1 is like always, that's what I like, just to be a bit more advanced. Try to always add some string skipping to the exercises in general, so we can do that in a motif, in a pattern. Because the string skipping has two things. One, it's way more difficult to play because of the distances here, and also it gives a different sound because it's not linear. And it's not an arpeggio, and it's not a linear scale. It's just you're just skipping notes on a scale, so it gives a different flavor to your solo, to improvisations. Not much to create melodies for singing, but why not? Like melodies for guitar music, it's cool. A lot of times we use because it gives this interesting, disruptive kind of a melody. Not great for singing because you cannot be singing like doing like big jumps, but great for creating like interesting melodies and unexpected, I would say, melodies. So we can get like as a 7 thing here for you to practice. As I said in the title, 7 great techniques exercises. So let's say like one of the most famous patterns, like so that's one of the first ones you probably will learn or you know already when you're talking about pattern, because it's like 1 2 3 4 next note, 1 2 3 4 next note, 1 2 3 4, right? So it's like right, but then we play like this, just play vertically, not horizontally. Or horizontally sounds great. It's another thing you should practice, should be in the list too, like the number 8. Everything you should practice horizontally and vertically. But back to the string skipping. So this pattern here, right? And coming back, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, right? Cool? Let me know if you guys know this one. Let me know if you guys know this one. And I still have to play piano. Let's see. Famous patterns are my stake. Yeah. I mean, it's great to, learn patterns, I think so, mainly if you want to play fast, having those patterns, and then you start getting different ones, and because they give you a different perspective for your picking. Okay, Marco doesn't know this one. I need a sugar daddy to buy me a guitar. Man, just practice guitar. Just do some videos. The guitar companies, they will send you a guitar for free, man. It's not that difficult. Come on. I think it's probably easier than finding a sugar daddy. Let me know if you guys agree with that. Just practice. Play, do it well, and yeah. One of the guitar companies out there will send you a guitar. At first they give you a discount, then after a while they might give you like a cheaper model, and then after a while they give you a great model, and at some point they give you a custom shop guitar, and then other ones, and then they might even pay you to play for them and things like that. So yeah. All right, so what should we do with this? You guys didn't tell me if you guys like or not. Okay, Devin needs a sugar mama. Yeah. I have to thank my mother. She bought my first guitar. Yeah. And it probably helped me. My mother and my father, bought the first guitar. And probably helped me with some money, birthday money, Christmas money, to buy my first Ibanez. $800 back then. Some, long time ago. Bootleg, somebody throws. Yeah. But anyways. All right, so, okay, you guys didn't tell me if you guys know this pattern, but let's continue anyways. I will consider that you guys don't know, so I will play slowly. I mean, slowly. Try to hear like... And then now what you're gonna do is like, try to skip one string. So just to make it, more difficult, that's the idea, right? So, I'll do it slowly, I forgot. So I'm skipping those three notes here. I'm going straight to those three notes here. So it's good because you have. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So now the melodic pattern doesn't exist anymore. It's not following. It's like. So it's not following the melodic pattern. It's just following the shape, the hand shape, which is great for us guitarists because you can create interesting melodies just doing the same thing, the same movement, just using the string skipping technique. And then here, by the shape, we should go here, but then it's hard to do the same thing. So just use. So just play whatever is easier to play. The lazy way of thinking. You see? So it's the same pattern. Using the string skipping technique, just applying the, can I use the string? You can skip another 2 string, which is harder. Oh, I have to play slow. Of course, it's easier to play with them. Have to practice. I don't use this, but it's good. I play more like here. Because it's like, it happens to be like really inside an arpeggio shape. So you see, it's always the same pattern, in the same 1, 2, 3, 1, then 2, 4, sorry. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Yes. Maybe it's too late. All right. Good stuff. Let me know. Devin Brown sending some $4.99. Oh, thank you, man. Are you E standard? E standard. Using the Neuro DSP here, so. Right? So here. Same idea, so you can put in different shapes, This is more advanced, so if you're not understanding, don't worry, because this is a bit harder to play, but, never be afraid to play more complicated stuff. It's just don't try to play the entire song or the entire solo if it's too difficult. Just get some parts that you like and play very slowly and try to understand what is behind there. In this case, would be like a simple pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But then it's like using the string skipping, so it sounds, different, but it's using kind of the same idea. So there's a lot of stuff that sounds difficult, and it might be difficult to play, but if you break down and play slowly, you're going to be able to play. That's Actually, in my course, the Guitar Hacks, I have this how to practice a challenging song. There's ways to practice a challenging song. Every song is challenging. It's not about the speed. Some are nearly impossible. Uh, depending on your level. But even the songs that sometimes it's like they're slow or few notes, then it's difficult to get the vibe. It's not about the technique in the sense that you play fast, but to get the right vibe is hard, and it might be even harder than playing something fast, because doing something like repetitive and fast in the end is a matter of sitting down and practice. So if you do it, like every human being that sits down and practice will be able to play. But when it comes to a subjective thing, with how beautiful you play and all that, then it's hard. Then it's not only about sitting down and practice. It's like your artistic view from things, your feelings and all that. And then it's a bit harder. So sometimes like a fast song or like a fast solo is not exactly the most difficult thing. Might be like a ballad, will be as hard as a fast solo. Do you guys agree with that, or maybe not? I'm talking about my own experience, suffering to play songs that doesn't look difficult, but they are difficult to make it sound great. It might be because they're simple, so it's more about the way you play. And then when they're fast, you just play fast, even, and then yeah, does make sense? Cool stuff. And yeah, let me see here. What else can I help you guys? Let me, give me. All right, Racine, 100%. Let me know what you guys think about this, what I just said. Some legato exercise. I think like what I showed Robert Volcan. Thanks for the lesson. Thanks, man. Volcal. And thanks, Robert. And I'm reading here, guys. So, what do I think about Ingrid Malmsteen? I was like a big fan, like, I don't know if I remember. I don't remember, but yeah, I still remember some stuff because I was practicing a lot those things. Big fan. All right. Okay, let's talk about the Casey. I was asking about the stretching, right? For us to, we're like here 1 hour, 12 minutes, 13 minutes. Yeah, the stretching. I mean, you have the basic stretching, right? Go to the gym and then, let me see my camera here so I can see if you guys can see well. All right, so, yeah, I mean, I'd like to do, well, first I like to do this movement, so like closed hand, you guys can try now. And I don't know if I can put close to the microphone here. Actually, it's pretty good. Sometimes we have some weird sounds, some weird cracks. So, like this, both ways, and then you open your hand, and then it's weird. I think it's weird sometimes, some cracks. I think it's good slowly, I tend to do stuff fast sometimes here on this live streaming just because of the energy of the being live and stuff, but it should be like doing like, so I think this is really good, this warming up this movement here. And then of course stretching here. I'm not a doctor, right? Not a, so So I'm not a Pilates teacher or yoga teacher. So you know, it's the basic stuff that I do myself, that I learned throughout the years. And then you do this, and then always remember to get your thumb, because sometimes you see guys doing like this, and then they forget the, like, I was one of them, you know, get the thumb as well, you know, and then just hold for, you know, 30 seconds, a minute, I don't know, just, and those movements, like so, like this, and sideways as well. The same thing for the fingers, you know, like, you know, like, you know, those kind of stretches are always good. I like to do this, like this. I do. That's the way I do it. But trying to find a way if you guys can see, you know. Yeah. So like, is it good? And then same, both hands, I would do it, although, you know, you might think that you're going to use more, but both hands they have to be relaxed. So, yeah. And then like those, you know, the Thailand style, right? Yeah, so then like this, you know, I like to do. That's stuff that I like to do. This is besides if you want to do like full body stretch. You know, before a concert, you should do a bit. You know, like Dirk, he does like, you know, like 30 minutes stretch or maybe even more before the gig. You know, maybe like not right before, but, you know, maybe like 2 hours before the gig, 1 hour before the gig. So this is good, you know. I like to do this as well. You know, all those stretching for the fingers and the wrist, and of course this part, and then because you might have some tendinitis here, and you might feel here the golfer's elbow, tennis elbow, and of course like the whole arm, and then it should be good. And then of course like those fundamental exercises, playing slowly in the beginning, you know. Let me know if this is helpful. Let me know. Merci pour tout. Merci à vous. Merci à vous. Pas de quoi. All right. And it doesn't matter how much I practice, I suck at sweep picking. Man, I know, man. I know it's difficult, you know. It's difficult. Sweep picking is difficult. Yeah. So yeah, so just keep practicing, you know, slowly. Try to do what I said in the beginning, just like, you know. You know, slowly, right? All right, Skylar. Okay, it was good. Thanks, man. And yeah. All right, about the, let me see if I, you know my, let's see if I can put another, I don't know, like you guys want me to play the piano. I don't know. Let me put the piano sound here. Get some can you guys hear that? All right, so yeah. You know, the position doesn't help much, you know. Doesn't help. I'm sorry. But what it's good to do sometimes is just some strings or something, just play on top. So let me see like the final questions here. So I'm using here the Neuro DSP, the Gojira. I have them all, so I'll try different ones, you know. Like this is the Gojira archetype. That's what you. That's why it's kind of heavy, right? Play some Chopin. I don't know any Chopin, man. Come on, guys. I don't play piano. Just you know. So, ooh, this is not a piano. What is? So about that legato idea, you know. So let me put another chord here. So it's E minor, or the D, C minor. Right? C minor. Right, so you can always, you know, put up just one chord, record the chord, or have a keyboard or something like that, and experiment with different, you know. So like F minor. So that's for another live streaming, but you see, like, you just different chords, you know, like you can, you know, like this is like a E mixolydian, it's like a E major with a E major, D on the bass. tell me a chord. Or like, that's a good one. Doesn't have, you know, I might need a bit more gain, but yeah, it's fine. You know, it's kind of a. That exercise there. D minor. That's a good. It's a D minor with the major seventh, just to make our lives a bit more interesting. Malmsteen would be well, this is not Malmsteen. What else? That's hard. So yeah, so it's a good thing, just like if you have a keyboard, just, okay, now I'm gonna play C minor, and then, oh, today I'm gonna play G minor, or A flat minor, that's good. That pattern that we talked about. Fluent in any key, it's always good, you know. Like that was like A flat minor, then Dorian, and you know, experimenting all the modes. Why not? My favorite chord. I did a video about this because everybody asks about my favorite chord. It depends on the day, you know. Sometimes I'm just like a C major guy. find some. I turn that chord, you know, depending on the day. Saddest chord, Dr. Kyle. Man, the saddest chord, I think it's a C minor. But the Mozart Requiem in English, right? Requiem. D minor, right? So it's a D minor. So it should be, you know, but the C minor, you have the, which one? I think the Marcia Funebre is like C minor, or like the I forgot the name. It's like, I think it's the third symphony from Beethoven. It's like there's like this, you know, slow, spooky one, and it's like I think C minor. C minor is pretty sad. And of course the Aeolian. Stuff. All right, so I have my last question here. I want to know, like, what is important for you guys? What do you think is important for a guitar player to be considered like a high performance? Maybe, I don't know if that's the right term, like an elite guitar player, or like a, not to use the term guitar hero, because this term is like, it's all the stuff that you think about when you say guitar hero, but more like a guitarist that, what is a guitarist that is able to improvise, to compose, to play fast? What do you think is necessary and for a guitarist to be considered like a high performance, like a great guitarist? Like, let me know. Just, can you guys just type whatever comes to mind. Thanks. Public Image, 2010. Let me know if you guys can help me with that. Being able to jump in a band session with just using ears and eyes, you know, touching with the music, okay. It's about the composition and the ability of transmitting the emotions, right? Feeling plus technique, not only feeling, but not only technique, both. Fast freedom of the neck, yeah, like we just play around the neck, any key, right? passion. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. The guy that dominates his style. Yeah, because some styles it's all about the one note. It can be like the how you express yourself, smooth and clean and tight. Being able to compose music, that's great. Crunel. Yeah, it's rarely I hear like this. Oh, the guy who composed, it's not. We tend to praise the great players, not the great composers. Of course, some guys out there, the big names are always like great composers and great players. But anyways, can you give the question back to you? No, actually, I'm thinking about. I have my things that's like it's a question that sometimes I ask. Mainly because I'm organizing the courses that I did, and I want to do more stuff. And then it's like what is that is necessary to have this broad, sense of, okay, this guy is great. Can you feel the music? Because it's not only about being able to play like a fast run, you know. Fala Marcos, Rock in Rio, yes. Interesting, wide variety of styles. Yeah, but that's a limit to that. You're gonna be like playing, like flamenco, and then like Greek music, and then like playing a charango, and playing Chilean music. There's a limit to our time and our knowledge. It's always good to learn from different cultures, but it's a lot of stuff, and to use music as a secondary language for storytelling. Oh, that's great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see if I will do it, because I want to do this. I will do like another live, like next Saturday or Sunday. Let's see. I don't know if it's the best day. But in March, that are gonna have more time, I will do a week of, when I organize some cool stuff in. So that's why I'm asking. I will keep asking so I can have a better idea of what you guys think, what is necessary for a guitar player to be great, And when it comes to those subjective things, it's hard, but it's good because it makes me think, because that's what I think a lot about when you write a song, when you compose a song. Is a lot of stuff is like so subjective. It's not about, okay, this playing this scale or this harmony or names and stuff, although it's cool to know the theory and the names, but it's all this subjective stuff. So it's if you want to really learn music, it's so many other things you have to talk about, And yes, I will do like a live stream on chords and harmony. That's a good thing. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. And then yeah. So next week, I will see if I will do it Saturday. Maybe Saturday is better, or Sunday. All right, Justin, thanks. Your playing has inspired me to improve my playing. Thanks, man. So yeah, those techniques, I will leave this video, so if you want to go back and check the 7 great techniques exercise, you should be practicing a daily basis, or weekly basis at least. And then also, like what I did in the end, I think is a good stuff too. Like just changing, you can do it in different ways. You can record just a chord, just going to different keys and being able to feel free. Somebody said something like that, you know, just to feel free to play, improvise in any key. I know it's not easy, but the only way is trying and then forcing you to play in C minor, B flat minor, or you know, like you know, A flat mixolydian and things like that. All right, guys, thanks a lot. I've been here for, you know, I don't know, like 1 hour and a half or something. Yeah, good stuff. Thanks a lot, and see you in the next live stream like this. And yeah. Oh, Christine, thanks a lot. If you want to just download the backing tracks, and also Christine put the link here, and yeah. So Tuesday I have a Q&A that I recorded already, and yeah. Please just like this video and subscribe to the channel, and see you around, and see you next week as well. Thanks, guys. Bye.